Hello, you lovely lot, and welcome to the beautiful Cudmore Fisheries on the Arena Lake. But we're not here to talk about the Arena Lake, are we, Jamie?
We're not. We're going to have an in-depth, a joint. We've never had a joint catch-up, I don't think, have we?
No, because you normally fish considerably more matches and stuff than me, Jay, don't you, lad? You know what I mean?
We do. But yeah, we're going to have a joint catch-up because both of us, all three of us, in fact, have been living at Cooper's
We should have
Lake,
Richard. Should be a freeway, shouldn't it?
Should, but without him behind the cameras, nothing happens. So
oh yeah, to be fair. I can press red button and green button.
But anyway, no, Cooper's Lake has definitely been our focus.
We've been pretty obsessed with it. To be fair, folks, right, he's practiced more on this Cooper's Lake than he will for any major big check, big daddy final.
Well, that's been a few reasons, hasn't it? Firstly, because it was new.
Yeah.
A new venue, which is a bit exciting, something different.
So let's go right back to the start then. So it started, I'm going to say, like end of October time.
Later than that. November when you
it wasn't. No, Rich and Gaz went. So end of October.
Going back.
So Gaz Rogers, he's got to get a mention on the Flyer TV. Who's created all this fantastic job. Him and Rich went for a practice on there, and they were like, "Oh my God, loads of big heads, millions of perch or perch."
Yeah,
you lad. And they're like, "Right, I'm going to do a venue detective there." So like 2 weeks later, we're into like mid-November. I went, I'm like, oh my God, this is amazing.
You lived on there, coaching and everything.
I literally,
that's where we're going.
Quickest feature I've ever done. But like, right, 50 minutes done, dusted, £40 of vids, get ready. So I did all my coachings on there for the next I had like 2 coachings on there and it was solid. Right, let's get ready for it. And then obviously, Gaz's run his qualifiers. I qualified, you qualified, Rich qualified, and then we just started going in the matches, didn't we?
Yeah.
That's how it come about. But it changed a little bit, didn't it?
It changed a lot, didn't it? So the first proper match you fished was...
It was when Rich drew that blooming peg that you've all drawn like 15 times, 27. It was right at the end of November, I'm saying. So it's still mild, the fish was still having it. I've drawn peg 30. I've not been away from them 30s the last few matches, but we'll go on for that later. I've set up a little slider and I've set up long pole, and it was phenomenal. I've had 20 odd pound on the slider, big bream, big heads, I've had some big perch, and then late on I've gone on the pole line. The sun's horrendous there on them pegs. The sun's horrendous, so I didn't twig at first because I don't twig about it. You know what I mean, Jay? So I've like just moved my pole swim round to the left because the sun's like going that way. But I twigged later on, and I caught like loads of big skimmers. I'm like, oh yeah, this is all right. And I got told peg 30 want a good peg.
No.
So I'm like, oh right, okay. Well, I've had £35 won the match. Rich has had peg 27. He's had £34 come second. I love the fact that Rich come to me and says, right, I think I've had a roach, but it might be a hybrid. It's like £2. I'm like, it's not going to be a roach, Rich. It'll be an hybrid. Brought his net out, I'm like, oh, it's a roach. The roach was massive, Jay.
One.
Just wait on its own. It's like £12 roach. It was amazing.
There were some massively sexy quality fish in there.
It was. There's no light.
The first thing that the notable thing, wasn't it?
Definitely.
Was there were very few, definitely early on. Like a lot early on, in fact, probably until start of February.
Yeah.
There were very few little fish.
Yeah.
Like very
few. Weren't really feeding when we first went, was he?
No, it was big heads.
Yeah.
And skim bobs.
Skimmers, yeah.
That's what you both caught. Rich, very much. You caught a lot of big owl skimmers that became a thing in that area.
So I think, so obviously we did some filming on it, didn't we? We did Winning Ways there when we went on peg 23, and that was the first time I'd seen the tapered rig. Yeah. That was like early December.
Yeah, save that for a bit.
And then I'm fast forwarding, and then
no, I want you fast forward.
Then we had a match when there was ice on it, and I drew peg. No, I drew the same peg that we'd filmed on. I won that match.
You had 3 matches.
19.
You had your peg 31, and then I think you had
23.
2 or 3 matches when you were doing the 20s.
Yeah, I drew 23, 22, and that was it. Then been in 30 ever since.
Yeah, and you won both of them.
Yeah,
but both of them were quite different, weren't they? At that point, for a little spell, wasn't it? Must have been from Christmas to January. Again, there was no silverfish, so it was a weird match. You caught nothing fish for an hour and a half, did you? And you were all sitting there thinking, uh-oh.
No one was catching no worthy.
No.
You may have gone to the pub, you and
At
Michelle,
one point, we went to the pub through, yes. But still, it was a different venue. There were no little fish, and it was wait for the arrival, and then you'd catch quite well.
Yeah.
I think you had sort of like 18
I didn't have 20, I was like 18, 15, and then I like 17, 12 or something like that.
That was in the ice though, that.
Yeah.
But again, it was different every single time, wasn't it? That's the key thing at this venue.
Oh, mate.
Every single time you sit down...
set your stall up for it, can you?
You never know what it was going to do, did you? And that went all the way to the end of the final. We probably fished 6 times on there.
Yeah, definitely.
Every single time it was flipping different.
Yeah.
Like, whoa, horrible to try work out something, wasn't it? And that's sort of the way it became. We went quite a few other times. We lived on the 20s, didn't we?
You had it a couple of times when we had them real strong winds, didn't we? Like middle of January. I didn't go on them, but that's when the roach started feeding, wasn't it? When they started stirring up.
Yeah, a bit more. Yeah.
Jan.
Yeah, I'm having that. The roach started feeding January onwards.
Yeah.
And they weren't little diddy roach. They were
good ones, weren't they?
I'm going to say 4 to a pound, maybe 5 to a pound on average.
Yeah.
But they're not big, sexy ones, things like that.
Boy.
But yeah, they started feeding them, but in an area. And then it became dead obvious then that you needed to be 20s, didn't you? You had to be 20, maybe 30 at a push for a day's fishing, but not winning.
Yeah.
The fish are in between 22 and 30.
30.
That little
in that
bit.
area.
That's where you had to draw on it. And that became, and in typical drawbag standard, one of us, mainly me, was there every week from that point.
Rich was always in the teens or like early numbers, and he drew 27 on the last practice match. He did well on.
He did.
And I was always on either peg, 31.
The teens were interesting now. I'd have loved to have spent a bit more time on the teens.
I wanted to be over there with the wind, because how the wind was on your back, and like there's a couple of waggler weights there, and it looked mint. I'd love to have drawn there. And
There
it was
was
like
less fish, but quality fish, wasn't there?
Yes,
it seemed,
nice fishing.
I think something was
like
to be
early
learned
numbers.
there.
We didn't want to be anywhere near that right hand side, did we?
We were very lucky that we couldn't get near it.
Yeah, none of us
Rich did. Rich was on a couple of times, but
oh yeah, pub pegs, aren't they, Rich?
Well, apparently they're summer pegs, aren't they? They're sexy eyed.
Oh, that's where I did my features from. That's where I did my feature from. That's where I went coaching twice, and it was solid.
Did you?
That ridiculous.
It's just shallow water. It's typical winter. That bit deeper, a bit more room in the winter, and then shallow in summer.
Yeah, 100%.
That's how it came about. But then, so after lots of practice, I'm not going to go into final yet.
And lots of drawing.
Lots of many good pegs drawn. Well, to be fair, I got me bad pegs out the way the match before it.
You did actually.
I drew myself 33, which was a bit poo, and I drew Tom. I actually drew for Tom Scully on that day because he was late.
Oh, you drew him peg 5?
And I drew him peg 5, so that was like,
mate.
I was gutted for drawing that for Thomas, but I was like, I've just got me bad peg right out the way by drawing that one. Do you know what I mean? I ain't going to draw 2 bad pegs in a row.
Not a chance. It's just not in your nature whatsoever, Jay.
We got that one out the way. But anyway, what had become apparent, we'd fished quite a bit, hadn't we?
Yeah.
And it was similar sort of fishing, long and short, only 2 lines, both with ground bait and maggots. And Rich definitely on his first one picked up on it with the importance of pellets, as always.
Do you reckon Rich sussed it out for us?
Rich, he sorted it. To be fair,
it
started right, and then it went right in a big circle of us doing lots of random things, and then started what we started with.
Yeah, pretty much. I stuck to me like, F1 Dark and Thatcher's mix, and it just like, it's one of them. I'm not going to say it wasn't right, but obviously that Super Crush Expander, because you're saying the fishing meal, it wasn't scaring the roach, was it?
No,
bringing the roach in, but then like it bring the skimmers in and the ids as well.
Yeah, that became my match. Whenever we drew in the 20s, it was short with Thatcher's and F1 Dark.
Yeah,
full of worms, chopped up worms.
I was going to say that I thought worms would come into it more, but I don't know if they made a difference or not, Jay.
No, they just went in.
Yeah. But weren't doing any harm, but
no, the roach seemed to like being over them, didn't it?
Yeah.
But all you ever caught short was roach.
Yeah.
That's maybe an odd. I think I caught 1 or 2 out, but roach.
Yeah.
But your long line, that's where the Super Crush and Micros went in. And you fed like a ball like that to start, of Super Crush and Micros mixed.
Yeah.
And then it became, the biggest thing for me was feeding with a pot.
Yeah, so that's my, as you know, folks, I quite like for you to get giddy. Catapulting for me, just was not the same until I started putting a pot on, like zoning it in, still putting the odd catapult in, but like really centralising zoning and fishing. It made a massive difference.
Yeah, but it was tricky though, wasn't it? Because it's not a case of putting a trap in with a pot.
Do you know what's harder with? With a pot on when you've got like a top 3 in it, so you're like pulling back and like it comes off your roll and like, oh, bait's gone everywhere. You end up with like 5 pints like under your feet. It's a nightmare, isn't it?
But it was vital, wasn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
Coming in literally every 90 seconds. 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Feeding with a pot, shaking it
with a fish, you and your pegs as well.
It proper was like, but it was huge because there were no fish. Once your rig was in the water for 90 seconds, you didn't get a bite.
No.
Very rare.
No.
Because it's so deep, it's 10 foot.
Yeah.
On the good pegs, 10.
Yeah.
9 foot. Nothing lives on the bottom, they all follow it down.
Yeah.
And if you didn't have that column of bait constantly, every single chuck I fed 20 maggots, 20 micros. Every single chuck shook them in.
Yeah.
And I honestly think the roach were eating the micros as well. On the way down.
Just nailing everything.
They were just eating everything.
I think there's a few people been on since, and obviously when we go pleasuring on there, it's carpers that go on, so they're so used to it, aren't they?
No brainer in it.
And how interesting was it as well, Jay, that the lines never lasted, did they? You get like a run or 2 or 3 dead quick when the big ones were there.
Very much bonus fish, yeah.
And then you'd have to go somewhere else. You couldn't stay on them, could you?
No, you can't target big fish, can you? It became...
You just have to be on it at the right time, didn't you, when you topped up and what have you?
You do get runs, like you say, 2 or 3. And then you go back to roach, or back to nothing on the teens and that.
Some went back to roach.
But I think that pot, we spoke about this the other day, and feeding with a pot, very alien for silverfish fishing, really. But I think it was all down to exactly what you said, because you're only getting 2 or 3 big fish, or a little group coming into your peg at one time.
Yeah.
If you fed with a catty, because we're fishing a long way, we're fishing 14 now.
Yeah.
If you fed with a catty, that's flipping heck. It's 2 meters square.
It's over too big a spread, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, I tell you what, Jay, I'm interrupting all the time. Like, the case in point, Rich will tell you about this. I think, were you there on the ice one when it was iced up? No. You weren't there, were you? How bad was it, Rich, when you came to me and all that maggots was spread over the ice? You know what I mean? It'd take like 2 or 3 goes. I wasn't putting loads in, like a dozen maggots maybe.
See how big it is.
You see like the massive spread on like the maggots, and I thought it was being fairly accurate.
Yeah.
So obviously what you're saying there is with the pot on, you're centralising. The big fish can't back off where they want to be.
Well, it just means that on top of your bait, your hook bait's in the place that they are instead of.
That's when I thought back to that. I'm like, actually, that J bloke, he does know what he's talking about.
Just because there's small numbers in there. The roach are there, they'll mop up everything, but to catch them big fish, which you needed to get out the roach were good for £10. To get it to £20, you had to catch them big fish.
I reckon that's why that waggler works, because you can cast on the back of it, on some of the pegs. You know what I mean?
Possibly. But again, I think the wagglers, it's right but not right because of the spread again, and there's not a lot of fish feeding. Not a lot of big fish feeding yet, is there? But anyway, that's how it became.
There is on here. But anyway, we're not talking about it here.
So it was just a short and longy day, wasn't it?
Yeah.
We went final. One of us drew our plums off.
We knew it had happened, folks, because there's like, what we're saying, there's like 6 pegs that we wanted, but realistically 4 that you could probably win off. Are we saying that?
I think you could have won anywhere 22 to 28.
Do you really?
Yeah.
So what's that?
22 to...
Quite a few.
5 pegs. 5 pegs.
Yeah. So obviously we knew, like, obviously we've got a chance out of 3 of us drawing, and we knew someone would draw it. I'll do the blooming same peg that I had in the practice match. Yeah. Right in front of the staging, pub right behind me, everyone shouting down, Andy, do you want a pint? Yeah, I really do, but no, we really don't. And it was a nice warm day as well, wasn't it?
It was.
You know what I mean? So obviously beer
big
garden, Prosecco's on the go and all that. Tally ho! Lots of them, and yeah, it's just carnage. But yeah, Jason is like little pokey Mr. Crabtree.
It was amazing.
Peg 27, where Richard won from the previous last practice match, didn't you?
I was well happy.
But it's amazing. Are we going to talk through rigs?
Yeah,
talk through rigs.
Yeah, should we do that next?
All right, are we going all in one, Rich, or what do you want to do, mate?
Let's just do it, yeah. We'll talk about rigs. So that became what we were talking about, the tapered shotting under curve.
Oh, honestly, so I'm going to go back to, the first time I'd seen this, December when we did the filming there.
It was mad.
It was like, you know what I'm like, bulk and droppers, but like the tapered one, it was just...
Because all your fish are on the set, aren't they?
Because everything's coming.
It makes you busy, doesn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
Flipping it, you lay that rig in, and it's hard. Especially physically tiring.
Yeah.
Flicking that rig in at 14.5, non-stop, every 30 seconds, 60 seconds.
It wouldn't work the same, lifting and dropping.
No, you couldn't get a bite doing that.
No.
It had to be right in. And it's a big old rig. I mean, that's been what we fished. 9.5 foot we're going to go for, 10 foot.
Oh, aye, proper.
So it's a big old deep rig.
And look where you've got, yeah.
That has been the exact rig. So, we're going to have a rifle through it. And
go ahead.
Elastic's been number 6, hasn't it?
Oh, mate.
That was the best elastic for it, because these roach.
Yeah.
And as well, your silverfish being eyed and skimmers, they come in like me, they
just wobble in, don't they?
Do that. Oh look, I had 2 hybrids, like £1.50 each.
They'd be angry.
They were like, I thought they were car.
Oh,
Both
really?
of them, I nearly ripped them off.
Did you? Go for a pull?
Oh no, better than that, and just see what it is.
I love doing that. When you go for a pull and it pops up, you're like, oh, sorry mate, sorry, let your elastic back.
But yeah, 2 big sexy hybrids.
Yeah, boy.
So we had that. 206, the way to go.
So what we on mainline, like 0.15, 0.16 or something?
14.5.
Oh, right, okay, go ahead, mate.
So again, not too heavy.
No, don't need to be, do we?
No, because it was sexy roach. And
yeah.
It was a very windy place as well, so I didn't want too heavy mainline.
Right, okay.
So 014, 015 was about right. We've got one of your floats.
We've got a
Mr.
power,
Adam Crumble sent me a load of. We've got
go on.
A 0.5 power.
Yeah.
So again,
surprising me, Jay, why you've gone for like a bodied one. Is that just because like how
it's windy as?
It does pick up the toe. Yeah, definitely.
It's in that depth. Yeah, it was just every time we went, it was windy.
Right, okay.
And it wasn't.
It was.
It didn't have to be too delicate, and as well, light was quite shitty, wasn't it? So it was
it always was
see.
in my pig. Blooming sunny in your face, yeah.
Yeah. So nice black floats nearly everywhere. This is the exact rig. I've literally saved this.
Yeah, boy.
Nothing fancy about that. So 0.5, which is not a lot for the depth.
No.
Probably 10 foot. I've set up other rigs on the day. Of course, I've set up a 0.75 with a tighter spread.
Yeah.
With a bigger shot. Never even picked it up.
No.
And the same for the short line. I'll show you the short line. I set up a.
But this is interesting, Jay, and this is what we're getting across to you folks, is that, for the depth of water, most anglers would like, they wouldn't even consider using like half a gram in that depth of water. It'd be straight onto like 3/4 of a gram, possibly a gram, especially with the wind. But this is why it was so important, fishing a lighter float, but obviously bodied so you can hold back against it. Is this business here? What's happened down at the bottom third?
This sexy
nice,
bit,
light,
wasn't it?
Sexy drop.
So that is what I'm going to say. Yeah, 9.5 foot.
Yeah.
In the bottom 3.5 foot, that's where all my shotting is. Yeah, so it's getting down a bit. The fisher, tell you what, we've both tried and never caught a fish on. You'd lay this rig in all the time, and you'd miss a few bites, and there'd be fish off the bottom. I had a 5 foot shallow rig.
Oh yeah, that's right.
The same rig for 5 matches.
Yeah.
Never had a bite.
Yeah, it's nuts, mate.
Sat at 5 foot, which, do you know what I mean? That's about that. Never had a bite.
On the one before last one, when I drew peg 30 again, I was getting loads and loads of bites, shallow. So I'm like, here we go, get ready. Yeah. And then you put shallow in, you don't get a bite.
It's weird. They're all in that bottom end.
Yeah.
We're the same thing. So, Z shotting. So it's a 0.5. So it takes a little bit of shot. Not a lot, but it takes a little bit of shot. And starting at the bottom end, 6-inch hook length.
Yeah.
Yeah, about 10. Been about right with what hook have I used? I've used a couple of hooks. I've used some dodgy MXC5s that Sean sent me, some prototype ones that were good.
Yeah.
Which were, they're like me delicate hook. And then I used a 16 Gamma Black as well. So I skipped about with 2 of them. But it was only ever, I'm going to upset you. It was only ever single maggot I put on. I did have
what about the disco pinky?
I had it a few times, but it kept annoying me that I kept thinking it was
I did have a few overfolds and double. Yeah, it kept doubling over on me.
For the hook I was using, it was.
I was black gammers all the way. 16's black gamma.
That's what you went with. So 6-inch hook length of about 10.
Yeah.
My first shot.
Yeah, I'm loving this.
On the loops.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah, straightens that big loop out.
Yeah.
Bottom loop's all right because it's only 0.10, but the first one's a number 10 right on my loop. So number 10, 6 inches away. Yeah, and then I have 4 number 10s in the bottom 2 foot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm having that 2 foot. So I've only got 4 number 10s, so it's a reasonably sexy slow fall in the bottom end in it, which is everything.
Yeah, but I think you needed number 10s. I tried 11s, it wasn't the same because that positivity, so you have seen the bites. Yeah, that's what I mean.
You need bigger to show the bites up,
yeah.
Really.
Definitely.
10s are about the smallest I thought you could get away with. So 4 number 10s, and then that tapered stuff that we're on about all the time, just tapered number 9s above it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 number 9s.
Yeah, boy.
Just spread out nice and evenly, sorry, not nice and evenly, getting closer as we go.
Yeah.
And a bit of a kicker at the top there, some fine tuners. But so basic, but that lovely taperedness comes in.
It's so good,
and creates me curve.
You want me curve? So where are you plumbing to then?
Middle of my body.
Middle of your body on everything, yeah?
Because there was no wind on. In matches previous, I'd plumbed up with nearly a float out.
A bit on, because it was towing, wasn't it?
On the day it was flat.
Right. So it's flat in your peg, wasn't it?
Yeah. Yes, it was nice and flat. No wind. So yeah, plumbed
go on,
up
talk us through the up length then, because I've been like 08s and 09s.
I just didn't think there was any need.
You not think? I mean, there's odd like bonus tension, wasn't there? Carps weren't really showing worthy, obviously. They don't count anyway, but yeah, I just thought 08 and 09.
I honestly, in every single silverfish match this year, I haven't fished 08 yet.
Have you not?
Just fished 010. And I've never thought you're being positive. You're not fishing for £2 or £3.
No,
you're fishing for £20 and £30.
Yeah.
Good job done. And they're eating, aren't they? When they come into your peg there, they're eating.
Oh yeah, they're there for a reason.
Yeah,
100%.
they're not. It's not delicate. Oh, they're in my peg. I can't get a bite. What's that? That's something weird.
A goose, grey lag.
No, that's not a goose. The tweet one.
Moorhen.
It wasn't. It was like an oyster catcher or something.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, it was like
sandpiper.
That's what it was.
Carp. Oh no, it was sandpiper the other day. Yeah, it would have been.
Yeah, it was a sandpiper one.
Go ahead.
Anyway, short rig.
So this is short rigs. Yeah, short rigs. I've done similar to you on the short rig. You've got a good depth though. So your short rig was as deep as my long line.
Well, it was because my short rig was that exact rig was the long rig I used on 33. This is the rig I used on 33, and I used exactly the same rig and the same hook for the 5 on the short line.
I love that.
Exactly. In fact, no. It may have needed.
Have you put some like? Yes, boy, he's done it. I'm rubbing off on him, folks. He's added line. Do you know what? Cam's done exactly the same as well. When he next to me, he added line. I'm like, I love you. That is amazing. It's not just me. I'm a massive advocate of adding line.
Adding line's only allowed. The rules are
the silvers. Are we allowed?
They're only allowed when it's above your float. Yeah, if
not below it.
If it's below your float, you're not allowed.
I've done it before now, where I put my float over it, so it's down here somewhere.
That's really bad. Yeah, only when it's above your float, you're allowed.
You have made my day. Right, can we go now? Get in, you beauty.
Oh, just lowered everything. I'm right with that one.
No,
should have redone this one just so you didn't see that.
You legend.
Same again, single 6, same line, bloody blood, different float though. Yeah, I've gone with
Is that 414s or something?
416s.
Oh, 416s.
So it's probably
Probably similar to that then, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably heavier, but just a different style of float. More delicate, slim body, just more delicate. Simple as. What are they? They're not called what they are anymore. That's a Malman winter wire. I think he calls them F1 Titans now. But that's not. Okay. That float must be like
So what have you done different with this? Is this where you've been loose feeding, like your double pouches?
Yeah, with a catty.
Yeah, so no potting on this?
No, I've got like a girly shoulder that's hurting when I throw.
That catapult of yours, mate.
But cattying at the minute is a joke.
Yeah, man.
So I'm obsessed with it now. Anything from 5 metres to 10 metres, grouping with a big... I can't actually show them. I'll get shows to that. Got a sexy catty. I'll show you all soon.
Not fair.
Very like a joke.
Yes.
Like a joke.
Yes, Jamie. Move on.
Catty and short groups them so much better. And I've done that. My routine all day has been ship out, feed me bait. As my rig's settling, because it takes a few seconds to settle being the depth it is out there, I pick up 20 maggots, I feed them short, and by then my rig's just coming round, settles, and I'm coming back.
And then obviously that bait that you've just put in is going through, so it's going to trap them fish for your next going.
Yeah, it's just... Yeah, no, what I'm feeding... Now I'm cupping long and I'm feeding short with my catty.
Oh, right, get you. So you're not feeding over the top for like when you get a bite, there's that bait's going through?
No.
Right.
I don't know, I've fed when I fish short.
I've been doing like...
I up on them fed.
So obviously you're catapulting at sort of 11 metres away, aren't you?
Yeah, 10 to 11 with short line.
So does it not feel wrong, like, you know, when you can like loose feed it sort of like 7-8 metres to like feed through a catapult? But I'm in that gang now, I'm catapulting all the way. Because it's like, it's in that. Yeah. I love loose feeding, but it's just, no.
It's similar to your shallow fishing in summer as well. Steve talked about this.
I don't think I'll ever
it
loose feed
slows
again.
you down.
Yeah.
You're giddy.
Yeah.
Too much of that going on.
Definitely.
You're giddy, aren't you?
I love it.
Slowing down.
I'm so in the catapult gang now, you've changed me.
Yes, that's non-credit for me. We're miles behind everyone on that.
Yeah, to be fair.
But
Get it in.
So that one's
dead
same
similar. Shotting then, J lad.
A little bit different.
Oh, go on.
Bit more positive, but still not far off.
Right.
Same hook, all bloody blur.
Yeah.
Same number 10 on loop, same number 10, same number 10.
Yeah.
And then this one is spread number 9s. Bit tighter. What are you going to give me? 2.5 foot, 2 foot?
Yeah. It's a lot closer.
But not tapered, just spread.
Yeah.
Again, all the bottom end, every single bite, even on short line, was as it went in.
Just as it's going in.
Every single one.
So again, you're doing exactly the same.
You catch a bitty perch.
Lifting it out, laying it in again if it's not.
Putting the rig in again. It's mad. You literally sit there. You can sit there for 5 minutes and sometimes, and you think, I'll get a bonus fish on the bottom.
It's not.
You don't. You lift it up, put it in again, and you catch a bonus fish on settle, and you think, you horrible.
Just single red maggot was best bait.
Yeah. Definitely.
So like on this line then, loose feeding obviously more prone to catching roach. Were you getting a lot of roach or did you have to keep resting it?
Oh no, I can clatter them. I'd go on it, like it became sexy. At first it was lots of roach on both.
Yeah.
I didn't fish short for an hour and a half. I've just stayed long.
Yeah.
And I've caught a couple of skimmers that big and loads of roach. Probably had 40 roach first hour and a bit. I mean, one a chuck.
I've not even had 40 roach at all, Matt.
Right. It's where they are, they live in that bay. Then I've come short, it's a roach a chuck.
Yeah.
I can probably catch 10 or 15. And then Mark Cape Col next to me caught a big one.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right. So I never thought I was going to catch a big one short. So I spent another half hour long.
Yeah.
And I got my first big one.
Yeah.
And once you got one, I think I caught 2 over the first 2.5 hours. And then it became weird, the best I've ever had it, that I could come off it, come short. But before I left my long line, I'd feed a ball of crush that big. And when I went back off it, after catching 20 roach short, I get a bream straight away.
Jay.
Or a big skimmer.
Just a dream, wasn't it?
Just like,
dream,
and you knew the roach just changed, and then I caught.
But you've still been like putting them maggots in every time over it?
Every single go. If I didn't, I could literally miss one cast.
Yeah.
Where I think I'll try without, it wouldn't go.
Really?
Every single cast. And full as well, do you know what I mean? 20 maggots, it's a lot of bait.
As you said before, you don't think much of that's getting down to the bottom with the roach, do you?
The roach are here and they just go...
Nail it all.
Yeah.
And that's why you're getting them odd little funny bites and all that through the water.
Yeah, it was.
Right, so yeah, ends up, Jay, what weight have you had, mate?
£35.
£35.
Could have 40.
Could you really?
I've lost 2.
It just fell off,
one I hooked it and it went off, maggot folded over. And the other one just fell off on the way in.
Oh, blooming that, mate. Gutted for
could
you.
have £40.
But yeah, no, so £7 winner, £35. Got to say, special well done to the runners-up. So Mark Capewell, Adam Palmer was second.
Adam mega, he had
brilliant,
a mega last hour and a half.
It's like, did he tell you about his bank runner who was with him? He had like a heart monitor. Did he tell you this? Yeah. And it's like, because he was like doing really well last half hour, his heart monitor kept going above like whatever it was and kept bleeping and setting an alarm off. Because his like heart's going. Adam's like, will you turn that thing off? And then he's lost his landing net handle, hasn't he? And he's had to tread over his top kit. So tough to bits for him. He's come second with £21. Yeah. Mark Capewell, fantastic. 22. He's had £21, hasn't he?
I think Adam had 22. I think Mark had 21.
Oh, right, okay. So second and third, fantastic result for them.
Yeah, either side of me.
Dave Goff, fourth. 500
that was a standout one. He did well, Dave, didn't he?
Fantastic on a waggler. He's drawn around there a couple of times, hasn't he?
He was on the same peg he was on.
Oh, was it the same peg? He had £19, didn't he, in that practice match?
In the tench area, isn't it?
Yes, definitely. There's a few tench caught, wasn't there?
He does get caught in that little... I think Mark had one next to me. I'm sure he had one £2 last shot.
Did he really?
First one I've seen on that side.
Oh, go ahead.
But yeah, Dave did mega from it. It was, and yeah, we've got to give Gaz a plug, haven't we?
Yeah, Gaz Rogers, fair play. On the Flyer TV, it's just phenomenal what you do, mate. Long may it continue. The matches are brilliant, aren't
they? For a winter event, that's the new one to get excited about the winter,
as you say, it gets you excited. Usually from what we're saying, September, end of September onwards until now, we're we've not to do. But this year, it's been phenomenal. Obviously with the Angling Trust silver match as well. Yeah, they've kicked off again, haven't they?
Get that one. That is my life now.
Oh, it's brilliant.
I'm going to do silvers and then cap.
It's right, we can do it. It's a nice transition, isn't it then?
Joe, it's been nice as well. We've had 3 new venues, which we never get. You get them an odd one now and again with your venue set. I never get new venues now.
No, it's
but
nice.
I've had 3 this year. I've had Burton Farm, Riddins and Coopers.
Yeah. When you get into them, it's it is phenomenal.
It's lovely, isn't it?
Proper enjoyed it.
Back. So yeah, that's been our winter.
So £7,000, another big cheque for him. You know what I mean?
I looked after you both, didn't I?
Talk about my contribution. So he's giving the money out. I'm like, I forgot about my contribution. Jay's like, keep it, you dickhead. All right, cheers, mate.
Really nice.
Can't forget my contribution, Jamie.
All part of it. It's what we do.
But no, it's been amazing and fair play, mate. Done the business, haven't you?
Yes. The show next.
Yes, definitely.